Hello and good morning and happy Thursday to you, YouTube. Shout out to Talk Nation. All right, so I have three stories I'm going to run down. You guys come in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. Please, please, if you haven't become a member of the Talk Nation family yet, make sure you do so by clicking that sub button and most definitely hit that notification bell. Just one moment. Hey, what's up, girl? I just went live. Hello? Oh, I think it was the wrong number. But good morning, and I hope you all are having a prosperous Thursday on this Prosperity Thursday. All right, so there's a few stories that I did run across. I ended up running across. Hey, I'm live, girl. I showed I'm live. I think you sleep, ain't you? Yeah. I was just saying if you want to join, but I think you probably still sleep, so I'm gonna let you sleep. Oh, I'm live right now. Oh, you will see. Just come and look. Okay. What's up? What's up? And good morning to everyone who just joined the chat. All right, so I'm gonna get off into it. I know probably you guys are probably at work or on your way to work, so I'm not gonna waste your time. Okay, so I ended up running across this story probably about a week or so ago. It's about a Swedesboro, Georgia couple. I know probably a lot of people don't really know about Swedesboro. I think they probably have a population of like 7,000 or something, if I'm not mistaken. But these two renters, they were behind on their rent. I don't know if it was due to the renter's mandate, but when their landlady showed up at their house to collect, they ended up taking her away from Earth. And then they tried to get rid of the body while the police was on the front porch talking to her son. So this is a couple, as you can see their picture right here, and they go by the name of, let me make sure I get their name right. Okay, I think it's David and hold on. Okay, it's in here. Here we go. Okay, so the Swans were a couple that were accused of taking their landlord away from Earth who came to collect the rent. And then they tried to dispose of the body while the police were right there on the front steps. So the police chief, and his name is Randy. So, okay, this guy name, I think he was 53. No, she was 53. Her name was Faye Webb. She was 53. They actually stabbed her and they pow-powed her. This happened on Wednesday, and I believe it was last week. So Ellis, they said that she ended up coming to collect the rent, and this was between 9:30 a.m. and 10 o'clock a.m. Shout out to everyone in the chat room. Shout out to y'all. So she ended up coming to collect on the rent, and one of her family members, they were actually saying that she had came up missing. So I believe someone ended up doing a welfare check. Somebody ended up doing a welfare check. And you know, we hear every day people say, check on your family, check on your family. That is for real. Good morning. Good morning, She Diaries. Thanks for being in the chat room. What's up, Money Boy Trey? What's up? And she said, humans are ignorant. Yes, they are very ignorant. And basically, I did read this story before I came on. So David and his girlfriend name was, I think her name was Lashandra, but they were very behind on their rent. I'm not for sure how much behind. As you know, the renter's mandate has been active. They just got rid of it about maybe a couple of weeks ago. A lot of people took advantage of it that probably shouldn't have, but she went to collect on her rent. And I just think like this, especially when it comes to the safety of women, we have to be careful, especially like if it comes to a woman doing something like if she's a realtor. There was a really big story that came from out of Arkansas. There was a realtor who had her life took. and it was a man. Her life was took by a man who had been stalking her. So when it comes to women moving around like that, if a woman is a landlord or she owns some property, and if these people were extremely behind on their rent, I'm looking at it like it's two of them and it's one of me. I most definitely probably would have had a sheriff or police escort me or something like that. Because looking at the fact of the amount that these people were behind, I mean that's pretty. I think you're dealing with dangerous stuff. Oh, you remember that real estate agent? Yeah, she was really beautiful too. I don't even think I was on YouTube at that time, but if I was, I most definitely would have did that story. But women just have to be careful. Women have to be careful. And I remember they were saying something like, while the police were on the front porch speaking to this lady's son, they were taking the body out back. And I said, luckily her son was honest enough to let the police know, hey, they're out back. They're trying to get rid of the body. So that's how they got caught. So just think if she had a son that was trying to protect his mother, even though she was doing wrong, upholding people when they're wrong can be very devastating, very dangerous. So that he's seen his mother and her husband did something wrong, and he brought it to the attention of those officers that were on the front porch. So luckily they were actually able to go ahead and capture them and bring them on in. So shout out to her son who brought that to the police attention. Just wrapping this up, I just feel like if you haven't paid your rent, don't try to stay in these people houses for free. These people have to pay mortgage. They have taxes they have to pay. I've heard of some stories where landlords actually went homeless because they had so many tenants not paying. It actually caused them to go homeless. So it's been some real crazy stories about these landlords and tenants. And I remember I was telling my co-host Kim, I know Kim probably sleep. That was her calling it first. But I was telling Kim, when I looked this story up the day before yesterday, because I seen it on the Trey King show, shout out to him. But I was looking up the articles myself and I just put in, landlord, tenant, death. There were so many stories that popped up. And all of the stories were in the format, in the time frame of this whole, renters mandate time frame. So a lot of people a lot of people took advantage because it's over now. They took advantage of the renters mandate. And I just think it should have been some more organized things going on when it comes to that. That's just my opinion. I do know and understand some people out there actually went through financial hardship that probably needed to have those had to have a hold on their rent because they were actually in financial distress. But let's be honest, there were a lot of people out there that really didn't qualify to do this the renters mandate because they still had the same amount of income coming in, where in the past with this income they were able to pay their rent and pay their mortgage. So I think it should have been, and this is speaking on the other terms of the upper people who kind of pushed this renters mandate into play. I think it should have been like a protocol. I think they probably should have asked for the other income. And I'm not talking about the income that came from like stimulus checks and the extra unemployment. I'm not talking about that because that's not counted. I'm speaking on the monthly income that people get, because you gotta think a lot of people were not out of work. Oh, there got my co-host Kim. Let me add her in. Hey, good morning, Kim. How you doing?
Good morning.
All right. I know you probably was asleep, girl. I'm sorry if I interrupted you, but thank you for coming in. But yeah, I'm talking about this story about the two tenants who took their landlord away from Earth because they were behind on their rent.
Mm.
You remember that story I told you about?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm wrapping this one up, so we're gonna get off into talking about Arkansas Mo. You know, Arkansas Mo actually got sentenced to 17 years in the feds. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if anybody out there just know, but I'm pretty sure y'all do. When it comes to federal time, I think you have to do like 80% or is it 90% of the time? If I'm not
I don't.
mistaken. But you have to do a lot of the time. You got to do a big majority of the time when you're sentenced to the feds. So let's get off into
Every
Mr.
time, every
Mo.
time, every time somebody mention Arkansas Mo, I think of Carly Red, cause
Yeah, you know, they were married.
girl, she helped him spend all that money up and then left, then dip.
Yeah, allegedly she did help him spend all that money up. And you know, there were people like in the back scenes actually saying, let's see, She Diary said could have set up that baby to take that big ride. And a lot of people were actually saying that she still deal with him, you know, allegedly behind closed doors. There's people saying that they still do deal with each other. Most people most people played the money, period. Yeah, a lot of people messed off that just to be honest, a lot of people did mess off that extra money they got in COVID.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people missed off that money. They could have did some really good things with it. They could have saved some of it. But I mean, a lot of people did miss that money off. And
Yeah.
you know, even speaking of this situation with Arkansas Mo, I just feel like uh, they said that he brought Rolexes and Rolls Royce. You know, he was just out here living a lavish lifestyle.
How much money did he
Okay, so he applied for like 3.2 million, but I think, getting like 2.4 million, I think. Let me read the story so I can be exact.
get? And he bought a Rolls Royce. He bought a $400,000 car.
Yes. And I think the Rolex was like probably 20, 30,000 that he got. Let me see. This article is coming from let me see if I can shout them out. Let me see. I don't really even wanna I don't even want to play this one because you know what? I remember the other day. I'm just gonna go ahead and read it without sharing the screen because the other day when I spoke on the situation with Johnny Blaze, it was just some images of Love and Hip Hop, and they ended up giving me a copyright strike just because I was showing images. And I mean that's what was in the article. So I don't want to take any chances with this live. So I'm just gonna read it to you guys. So it says that the Love and Hip Hop star, and his name is Mo Flame or something like that. He was sentenced to 17 years in prison, and he was sentenced to 17 years in prison.
Mm-hmm.
This is federal prison. Okay, let me hit allow because they're not letting me straddle. Okay, here it is. Okay, so Carly Red's ex-husband was sentenced in his PPP loan fraud case. In the current season of Love and Hip Hop of Atlanta, the viewers had tuned in and they seen Carly Red continuing her quest to find love. The reality show star, she entered. Why are y'all talking about Carly Red? We talking about Arkansas Mo. Now let's stroll and talk about these charges because we don't want to hear about Carly Red. Okay, so it says months ago, it was reported that Fang, that's his name, Fang, he's facing charges in orchestrating a paycheck protection program loan scam where he allegedly swindled the government out of $2 million. He stood accused in using the money on new businesses. He paid his child support, luxury.
What?
Yes, he paid. I said now that's what we was talking about one time. We said that the men, our men, Let me get this off the screen. Okay, stop that. Okay. So yeah, we were saying the hour men are the top men who actually pay their child support. We were talking about that one time. You remember, Kim?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he did use it. Yep, she Darius, he actually is from Arkansas. Yeah, he's from Arkansas, but he's been all over the place. I remember when this story first came out because I did do it. If I ever find it, I will drop it in the comment section later on. But
Mm-hmm.
he was born and raised in Arkansas, but he's been all over the place. He has a very long, extensive track record, all the way from
Mm-hmm.
Texas to Cali, St. Louis, Atlanta, Chicago. Like this man, track record goes all over the place.
Are you serious?
Yes. So yeah, he paid for luxury items. He did pay his child support. And Fox News 5 reported that Fane has been sentenced to 17 years in prison. Fane, who is the sole owner of Flame Trucking, and this is a trucking business from out of Georgia. He applied for the PPP loan in the United States Community Bank, and this was back in April of 2020. And he was asking for more than $3.7 million. The 38-year-old who goes by Arkansas Mo, he ended up receiving a little bit more than $2 million. And the prosecutor said he ended up using the money for personal items. Same plan. He planned to use his PPP loan as covering for his long running Ponzi scheme. So he invested some of this money in a Ponzi scheme. I don't know if you need to mute your mic. I'm hearing a lot of noise.
I'm sorry, girl.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, the acting U.S. Attorney Kirk R. He reportedly stated the funds and programs so he applied for the loan to serve as a lifeline, for his business and desperately trying to stay afloat during the situation that we all went through back in early 2020. And unfortunately his fraud it helped deplete those precious dollars. So Mo actually did not do what he was supposed to do. As you know, when people apply for these loans, it's supposed to be used for things like paying your employees, keeping the mortgage paid on the businesses that you own, and he did not use it for that purpose. And I was just kind of tripping because I seen that Mo, he didn't waste any time when he got these loans. He didn't waste any time at all. As soon as he got the money, he instantly went out and started splurging. She
Wow.
said, if she is eating. Yep, you sure right. If she eating, yeah. How you stay afloat buying a car? I guess he gonna be floating through traffic in that new Rolls Royce. Oh,
Mm-mm.
you know what? I remember back when I did this story about Mo. Man, I'm talking about they showed the pictures of the jury and they showed a picture of the car. Oh my god, it was so clean, girl. It was clean. And I don't know
Mm.
if he rented this car or brought it. I'm thinking he did buy it or did he lease it? I'm not really for sure. I'm not for sure. But I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of plenty of stories out here when it came to these PPP loans. And
Mm-hmm.
my sister ended up sending me this article yesterday. And I told her, it's going to be a whole lot of more people getting hemmed up about these loans if it was in a fraudulent manner. If you know you don't have a business, don't apply for PPP. I mean, I think that's just pretty simple, cut and dry. If I don't have a loan, I don't have a business, I'm not going to apply for this loan. So, and one thing about it, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys heard that our president, Biden, he's actually trying to put out a law where he can track our money, and that's the money that's coming in and also the money that's going out. So he's trying to set up something where he can track the money that you're spending and the money that you're getting. So you already know when it comes to stuff like the people that, I mean, even when it comes down to the people who qualified and got these stimulus checks, they're also, I think those are probably the most people that's going to be tracked when it comes to their funds. What do you think about this whole PPP thing? What do you think about all of this, Kim?
Girl, I just can't believe. Well, it's a lot of people that did that, but they came after those people fast.
They did. They got on it fast. And that's something that I noticed now. I remember like a long time ago, it seemed like when people did stuff wrong, it took forever for stuff to catch up with them. But it seemed like it's coming around so much faster now. Like
Hmm.
they move in real quick. Like, come on, let's get in there and get them. So hey, if you're thinking about trying to apply for some of these loans and don't have a business, just think twice. Think twice. But yeah, he did get sentenced to 17 years, and I remember it was about a year ago, maybe not even a whole year ago, when I spoke on that story when they first brought the charges to Arkansas Mo. And hey, you look up 9 to 11 months later, he's sentenced to 17 years in the Fed time. And like I said, when it comes to the Fed time, you have to do most of your time when it comes to
Yeah,
that.
and some reason I'm mad. For some reason I'm mad at Carly Red.
You mad at her? What? No, no. Why do you hold her accountable in all this?
Well, Arkansas Mo did what he did or whatever, but I just feel like Carly Red just, we know she just used him and left him high and dry. And then on top of that, he from here, girl.
Right, right. He from our home state. I feel you on
Hmm.
that. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. And
He knew what he was getting himself into, but I'm kind of upset with him too for letting Carly Red play him.
I don't think she played him because Mo was out here. I don't know if you heard, Mo was out here doing a whole lot of stuff. He got some babies out there doing their relationship. Mo,
What?
he was out here allegedly having a affair with Alexis Sky, and Alexis Sky confronted Carly about it. Like she went through a lot of stuff with him. Allegedly, I heard he used to put his hands on her. I mean, she went through a lot of stuff with him, girl. She did go through a
Hmm.
lot of stuff now. But
Hmm.
but not saying that that's okay for her to have did what she did. Um but yeah, she did go through a lot of stuff with him. And I mean, when it comes to a lot of these guys out here that's swinging and making his money and doing a lot of stuff, yeah, she Diary said he was being flashy and telling people. That's usually the main reason why people get caught up. That's all right. People get caught up because they want to be so flashy and they want to be seen. You
Hmm.
don't need to see what I'm doing. I'm the type that's like, mind your business.
Right.
That's how I am. Mind your business. What I got going on is not of your concern, and I'm sure not really just out here trying to show off for anybody because those same people don't care about you.
Mm-mm.
I bet you. I mean, all of those people that he probably thought was down for him. I mean, how many people do you think showed up to his court dates and stuff like that? They probably scared to show up at the court date because they think they probably gonna get indicted too.
Hmm.
That's one thing about it, especially when it comes to our people. No one will ever know if I'm rich. I know that's right. She Darius, I said if I ever was to hit the lottery, honey, I want to be anonymous. Y'all gonna take that little extra money out for me being anonymous because I don't want anybody to know I hit the lottery.
Hmm.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But yes, okay. So I'm gonna hurry up and move on into the next story. Now, Kim, did you see the video I posted yesterday of the Dallas man who was stalking his neighbor and went up to his neighbor's door in a very creepy manner?
Mm-mm.
Oh, girl, let me. Okay, first, before I get off into, because this guy out of Dallas, his name is Dalvin Jones, and Dalvin ended up going up to his neighbor's door in a very creepy manner, knocked on her door, telling her how sexy she was, and in a very creepy way, he was like licking out his tongue and telling her that he's trying to be in the NBA. And girl, he was creepy. And this is a single mom of two that he was telling all of this to.
Mm.
Well, first, I'm going to go to my video that I posted yesterday of Dalvin Jones when he ended up going up to this young lady's house in a very creepy manner. I guess, he was trying to shoot his shot, but I was just thinking, like, why didn't you stay in the same apartments that this young lady lives in? Why didn't you just wait until she came outside? Okay, Kim, you stayed in apartments before, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've stayed in apartments before as well. And hold on, let me push play. And you know how they do it in apartments, girl. You walking outside. You're a single woman, whatever. You walking outside, a guy see you, he like you. He's like, hey, what's up? What's your name? This, that, and the third. And I mean, I'm like, why didn't he just wait until she came outside? But he don't think like that. I don't know if this guy maybe on the mental side. Let me make sure I'm sharing the screen. I'm going to make it a little bigger so you guys can see. So first, I'm going to show you what Dalvin did, and then I'm going to show you the interview that he had.
Okay.
So he actually had an interview after he went to the girl door and stalked her. So let me get off into the video. All right, so this is my video from Katie Talk 101. So, I don't need to put no copyright disclaimer or anything like that. So, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, like, you beautiful as hell to me. I was not asking, like, please, like, you beautiful as hell to me. You ain't know what time it is. I'm sorry, but damn, like, I don't be seeing you because I be going back and forth to school. Cause like, I play basketball. I'm trying to make the NBA. I'm in the G League, and I do tattoos too. So like, I'm trying to really fuck with you. Like you fine as fuck. Like when I first seen you up here, I like, damn, she fine. I live downstairs. Fuck with me though.
Yeah. I don't even want tattoo. I heard you talking.
You said what?
I heard you talking.
I'm for real. Fuck with me.
I heard you talking.
I promise you won't regret it. You won't regret fucking with me. I ain't like these other niggas. I got something going for myself, like for real.
I hear you.
For real, fuck. Come here so you can get my number. My phone dead. I'm gonna give you my number.
I ain't even at home.
Where you at? I thought you was at home like
Man,
just get my number from. Just get my number.
I'm getting them on the new stuff. Put your
I
number.
thought you get it from your phone. Huh?
It's gonna take this off if I move it.
I'm gonna just write it on the sheet of paper, put it up under your mat.
Alright.
Alright, sexy.
Okay, so that is the very disturbing and very creepy video from when Dalvin Jones went up to that young lady's apartment. And I'm going to get off into the interview that Dalvin ended up having, explaining why he did what he did. All right, so it's right here. Let me make sure I'm sharing the screen.
Did he do a video on why he did that?
Yes.
Hold on, let me
So
show you.
the bitch fucked with a nigga, one of the niggas that stole my phone. That's why I did this shit. Oh, okay. So you really didn't even want to dunk the bitch. I really didn't want. You didn't want to clap a cheek. No, none of that. I just wanted to get my phone back. Cause like she fucked with the nigga that stole my phone. Okay. So she. And then when they answered the door. Right, so you had to I had to come up with a lie to make her answer the door. Now you thinking. Yeah. Now you thinking. Okay. So I lied and come up with a lie. I phone on my brother's phone. He got 2 phones. Right. So shit, I logged in.
So it was a setup?
Yeah, said it was upstairs. Yeah, shit. So apparently, the bitch fucked with a nigga, one of the niggas that stole my phone. That's why I did this shit. Oh, okay. So you really didn't even want to dunk the bitch. Yeah, I really didn't want. You didn't want to clap a cheek. No, none of that. I wanted to get my phone back. Cause like she fucked with the nigga that stole my phone. Okay. So she. And then when they answered the door. Right, so I had to come up with a lie to make her answer the door. Now y'all can get type shit. Yeah. Now you thinking. Yeah. Now you thinking. Okay. So I lied and said I played in the G League. Right. Tattoos. Okay. Make shit look good type shit. Okay. I put on the front. Okay. To the house. We seen you kind of, dapper down and shit. Ain't have the band on. Like where you went that night before. I went to T.O.'s. T.O.'s? Okay. Because some people think you probably still kind of drunk and shit. Girl birthday. Nah, I wasn't drunk. You was drinking? None of that weird shit. None of that, okay. Ain't no weird ass nigga. Ain't no weird shit. No weird shit. I'm one of the coolest niggas. Came on with a plan and scheme to get his motherfucking mini iPhone 12 back. That's it, my nigga. Straight up. None of that weird shit. But okay. I was going to ask, how do you know exactly where she stayed, but you said off of the location? Off the location. Right, okay. Okay, that's how you figured out. Okay. Have you ever seen the ring before in real life before you seen that one? Like the ring camera, that's what she, yeah. Y'all seen when I ain't know like that hoe recording, like as soon as you press the bitch. I like, damn, this hoe like some. That legit, yeah, okay. Legit, like, so, did you think you were talking to her? Like, you thought she was in the house, like she can, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or do you think she really was? I peeped what she said when I first ran the doorbell. She like, boy, it's early than the bitch. I just woke up. I knew the bitch was in the house. Okay. Then she lied. She backed down and lied and said she wasn't there. I knew she was lying. Like, bitch, you is in the house. Stop lying. Like, type shit. Okay. No, so, when you did that, what if she did open the door, though, like on some... like I don't rush in that house, snatch my phone, and go about my business. Fled the scene on her. So, you didn't give a damn about this bitch that said what she said. If she would open the door, you would just... Ball rush past her and went to the phone. Okay. She didn't live. Do you know who she is, though? Nah, I never met her a day in my life. I just know she stayed upstairs from my TV. Okay. If anybody recognized that voice.
Okay. So that was the majority of the interview that Dalvin Jones did after he went up to this young lady's apartment. And not one thing, but it was a few things I found disturbing. But I say the most thing that I found disturbing was when the gentleman asked Dalvin if she would have opened up the door, what would you have done? And he was like, I would have bum rushed in there and grabbed my phone and ran out. I don't believe that. And I feel like he just admitted to lying about being in college and playing basketball and possibly going to the NBA. And he said that he do tattoos. So he admitted to lying about that. So I'm feeling like you're lying about you saying your phone is in there. And how do you know your phone is in there? When it comes to something like track my iPhone or whatever like that, if you felt like your phone was in there, you could have went to, he could have did something like simply go to the landlord and showed the landlord, ma'am, I did track my phone. My phone is in this young lady's apartment. Is there a way you guys can contact her and see if I can get my phone back? There's a proper way. It's protocol for everything that you do. And the fact that he said he would have bum rushed past her, that made me think he would have ran up in there and tried to do something to her.
Girl, he was just sitting up there lying anyways, and then he told her he was about to be in the NBA.
Girl, knowing he's lying, you ain't finna be in no NBA. That guy, oh, he's so creepy. He just, it seemed like he would have did something to her. I'm so glad she did not open the door. I know people that have lost their lives opening up the door to people that's out here like him, predators. Never open up the door. Never. If I was to open up the door, I would have opened it up and had my tone right there. What you want? I would have had the tone right there as soon as the door opened.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? Yeah, he do sound touched. He sounds slow. That boy is slow, honey. Can't nobody tell me he ain't slow. Yes, because I remember when she Diaries coming and she was like, I got so many questions. But yeah, I felt like I had questions too. And then I heard that the reason he sit down with that interview and lied the way he did because he they say he got a baby mother and him and his baby mother they break up and they get back together. You know, one of those volatile relationships. Some of
Mm-hmm.
us have been in them, but they say the reason he lied like that and made up the story about the phone because he didn't want his baby mother to think he was trying to holler at that girl. So
What?
that's mm-hmm.
Mm.
So that's why he made up that lie. But imagine being his baby mama. Imagine how embarrassing it is. Everybody see that you have a creep for a baby father. And you know, every day we hear about our men getting into legal trouble when it comes to catching charges, when it comes to a lot of things and stuff like that. And I'm just like, some of these people out here are real life predators.
Mm-hmm.
These are the type of people that need to be off the street. I was trying to give Buddy the benefit of the doubt, but I can't. Yeah, I can't give him the benefit of the doubt. And then you sit up here and you admitted that you lied about. You just came up to this woman door just lying. Oh yeah, I'm in college. I do tattoos. I'm about to go to the NBA. You just well, now what would you would have did if somebody did this again? Somebody came into your door.
Call the police. While he was sitting there, I would have stalled him out and called the police.
Yes, thank you. Oh, that's what I would have did. Yes, I would have sought him out. I would have been like, you, I would have sit up there and said, I would have been like, well, you know, I got a man. And then he would have been like, you ain't got no man. I don't never see him over here. I'd be like, my man got his own house. I go to his house. But you know, I talk to you, you know, we can probably creep or something, you know. I would have sit there and held a conversation.
Girl, she was scared of him. Talking about some. She told me some. If I move, it's gonna hang you up. He talking about. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Girl, I would have sit there and style him out till the police got there. And then when the police got there and he's talking about this phone is possibly in here, I would have been like, well, I would have told the officer, come on in here and see if a phone in here. As a matter of fact, officer, can you use your phone to call his phone to see if it rings? I would have put him in a position to make him look like the liar that he was, so they can file a report. At least file a report. At least file a report because, like I was saying, oh, and this is getting off into something else. I'm gonna go to this, and this was another live that. Okay, I'm back, y'all. I apologize. I got offline. Something you guys know, StreamYard, it trips sometime. I really apologize. Okay, so I wanted to. I'm pretty sure Kim gonna probably come back in a second. Okay, Kim, you back? Hello, Kim, did you hear me?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you at first.
Yeah, and the same thing ended up happening. You remember what happened the other day when I tried to share the screen and everything just went down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, StreamYard, it trips sometime and it does weird stuff. But let me see
Oh,
if
okay.
I can properly share this without it dropping. Thank you guys for sticking in with me. The three people that are here. I think I had four, but it dropped down to three. Um, okay, but I wanted to speak on this because when it comes to me, you guys know I do have my opinion when it comes to a lot of stories, especially a lot of stories dealing with our women. Because look, I'm gonna let you know where I'm coming from. I feel like when it comes to our women, we are constantly thrown in one box. So I feel like if we're women who get always everybody throw us in one box. What one of us do, they try to put that label on all of our backs. Do you understand where I'm coming from, Kim? When I say that,
Yeah.
it's like how one woman of color acts, everybody what they call stereotype. They try to place every stereotype on every woman of color when it comes to how
Mm-hmm.
certain women act. Do you feel where I'm coming from with that?
Yes.
Yes. So I feel like this. With me being a woman of color, if I see a situation where I feel like my fellow sister could have played a situation out in a more elegant way. I know
Mm-hmm.
everybody's not gonna think like me, everybody not gonna talk like me. But when I come across these stories and I feel like this person could have done better with what they did, I am gonna speak on it on my platform. Now I noticed I did have a few people on Facebook that had some comments about what I said with this situation, and there was a few comments, not agreeing with me. And we're not always going to agree, and I understand. But I wanted to explain myself a little further. So I'm going to get off into this. So you guys remember this video here. So I'm going to say this first. What really stood out to me, and I remember shout out to Money Boy Trey because he said this when he was at the beginning of the video. I don't know if he stuck around the whole live, but he said she is very combative off top. When they
What?
her over, she was immediately yelling in a very loud tone. When he first asked for her registration and her insurance, she refused to give it to them. Not even looking at the fact that she was right. She was right that she did have a front tag. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But in situations like this, you can be right and still look like you're wrong on how you conduct yourself. Hold on, I'm gonna let you. Okay. Okay, you good, Kim?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Okay. I feel like this was a situation where this young lady was right about the fact that she did have a front tag, but how she conducted herself with those police, I feel like she could have went about it in a better way. And and also the fact that she had her minor son in the car with her. You guys know that was her son that was recording. She had her minor son in the car and she ended up mentioning something. She said, you guys, y'all pow our people every day. You could pull my son out right now and pow him and take his life right now. And I'm like, why would you put that energy? Why would you speak those words on your child? Me, especially as a spiritual person, I know the power of words. We have to watch our words, especially when it comes to our children. And this is another thing. When it comes to our women, especially us who have sons, and looking at all of the bad things that go on time for time, we see it in the news about the police taking the lives of our young men. With all of that going on, I would never put words like that in the air when it comes to my child or anybody's child. So I feel like she was wrong in that state. But like I said, looking at the facts, she was right. She did have a front tag. But how she conducted herself, I feel like the sister could have done better. And I think it's in the corner of every woman of color if we see these situations going on where we see our sisters are not acting right, we have to stop propping them up and pushing them up. When I was looking through those Facebook comments and I seen all of those sisters like, yeah, she did right. Yes, sister. Yes, you know your rights. You can know
What?
and display it in a better way. How you feel about that, Kim?
Girl, mm-mm.
Mm-mm. How she
They was
acts,
saying
I
they
just
was
feel
just,
like she could have conducted herself in a much better way.
she
And then
really
this
could
is
have.
another thing. This is another thing. With her having a son of color and her son sitting back seeing his mother act like that with the police. How do you think if her son was the type that follows in what his mother done, follows in her footsteps, how do you think things would have went down if her son was in the car by himself, conducting himself the same way she did? Do you think it would have ended the same way?
Probably
She would
not.
have pulled him over and he was immediately yelling the way she was, acting aggressive the way she was. Then when she finally did open up her glove compartment box, you guys know how jittery these police are. And I know a lot of people say, well, if they're that scared, they don't need to be a police officer. You gotta think when these police officers have these stops out here and they pull people over, they never know how the situation gonna play out. So they are already on guard. Just like some of us are already on guard when we get pulled over by the police because we know how sometimes those situations can go. I remember there was a story some years ago. I can't remember it. I don't know if it was, no, I don't think it was Fernando Castro. It was one of the guys who was in the car with his girl. His girl was recording and he had some protection, and he ended up telling the police that he had it. And his girlfriend who was recording was yelling and she was screaming, and she made the situation a whole lot more aggressive than it should have been. And he ended up, unfortunately, having his life took by the police. So when it comes to situations where her son's seeing her act like that, he probably feel like he can act the same way. If he get pulled over and the police was like, I think your blinker light was out, and he probably know his blinker light working, and he acting aggressive the way his mother was, the situation will not play out the same way that it went with that woman. They treat men different from how they treat us. We as women get away with way more things, even though some people may not agree with me. Us as women get away with way more things than a man would, especially a man of color.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, when my sister was at work, a girl went into Target screaming, yelling at the top of her lungs. She assaulted one of their receptionists. She hit the lady. She was screaming and hollering like she lost her mind, like she was possessed almost. Don't you know that girl, they went on and got what she went in there and asked for, and they found out that she had been stealing thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. She walked out of that store. And she didn't walk out of handcuffs. She left. But once they ended up finding out that she had been stealing from there, and then she assaulted that lady, they put a warrant out for this girl arrest. So whenever she gets stopped by the police, this young lady's going to jail. But do you think that a black man that went into Target, yes, she did this in Target.
What?
Yes, Target on University. This happened yesterday. A black girl went in there screaming, hollering at the top of her lungs. They say all the customers was looking scared. People was out recording. She screaming, hooping, and hollering. Then hit the woman up there at the receptionist desk, assaulted her. screaming and yelling to the top of her lungs, talking about my grandma died and you gonna treat me like this? Ma'am, just because your grandmother died, that doesn't give you the right to come in here and act a fool like this. Now, let's replace that situation that I just said with a man of color. How do you think that situation would have played out? Way different. It would have played out way different.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying when it came to this story is that when we see things like this, when a younger black man sees stuff like this, they feel like, oh, she was right. If the police pull me over and they're wrong, I'm gonna get them told. So I'm saying you're setting up the atmosphere to put a lot of brothers in danger when we act like this. This video, I'm sure, was probably circulated around the internet probably a good million times, I'm pretty sure. Cause I think I seen yeah, she said I got some cheddars and slide out. Yeah, cheddars, yep, that's right up there by that Target too. One of my favorite restaurants. And she said the boy would be on the ground outside of the car until released. Thank you, She Diaries. Thank you. I'm glad you see what I'm saying. That boy would have been on the ground until more backup came. But it looked like it was a good 2-3 officers out there. I think it was at least 2 of them who she was talking to. But that's all I was saying when it came to this situation. I was just saying our sisters have to move in a better way. When one sister do something, they put us all in a different light. And I don't know if you guys seen the very end of the video. Go and watch maybe the last 15 or 10 minutes. But it was a part when the officer said to that woman, okay, ma'am, you should have been moved around. We let you know you're right. My officer has apologized to you at least 10 times. It's time to break this on up and let's get on out of here. And he told her, well, you're right in this situation. I would really hate to see how you act when you're wrong. So even though that sister was right, I feel like she was still left looking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that's all I was saying when it came to that video. Don't think I'm just on here trying to side with the police or how people say you're cooning and oh you a slave and you this and that. And I just feel like when it comes to these topics and people start conversating about these topics, you come through calling people names and you're saying they're a coon and they're this and that, and you sound like you're turning against your people. Why don't you get up and try to have a real conversation? But name calling is not a conversation. A lot of our people feel like they sit back and call you a lot of names. They feel like they won. You haven't won. And there was still no understanding when it came to the subject that's going on. The subject at hand is that our sisters should conduct themselves in a better way. We represent each other. And I feel like if you really, really love and care about your fellow sister, your fellow brother, when they're right, of course you're going to pat them on their back and say, hey, you was right about this. But if it's something they're wrong about, you can say that too. If I can prop you up and pat you on your back, I can sit you down and talk to you when you're wrong too. Don't just try to take all the good. You got to take the good with the bad. So we're about at our 55-minute mark. Thank you so much for joining me, Kim, and thank you to everyone out there. Thank you to all of my new subscribers that I gained. I think I gained about 30 some subscribers this month. No, 45. I gained 45 subscribers this month in September. So thank y'all so much. And I most definitely will be coming back with more stories. Y'all know I keep my ears to the street. And Shidara said, I had that happen to me 7 years ago. Was you in Louisiana? I don't know. She said she was in LA. I was blue until they black until I was blue. You had got beat? Somebody beat you? Oh my God. I don't know what that means, but she said she had that happen to her 7 years ago. I don't know if somebody assaulted her or what. She Diaries, if you're on Instagram, oh, the law enforcement did that. Oh my God, I would love to interview you and talk about that situation, She Diaries. Make sure you hit me up on Instagram. We could probably set up an interview really soon if you're interested in speaking on what happened. Let me see. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on Instagram and I'm gonna drop the link. No, I was low and for. Oh, you used to be a police officer. Okay, okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I let me see if I can do this because I'm pretty sure I can. I'm gonna share the link to my Instagram so you guys can follow me on Instagram. Let me see if I can do that. Let's see. I don't know if it'll let you save. Hmm. I have to figure out how to do it. But I was just trying to drop the link to my Instagram so you guys can go follow me on Instagram because I do post a lot of stories that I'm gonna talk about. But you guys can follow me on Instagram at Katie Talk 101. It's spelled the same way that it is on YouTube. So make sure you go over there on Instagram and check me out. So I gotta go and get my lashes on and start getting ready to get out of here for work. I really thank you for joining me, Kim.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we're finna get on up out of here. Thank y'all for joining me. And make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you sub to the channel if you have not. And most definitely make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see every time I upload or go live. And I'm signing out. Katie Talk 101.
Bye bye.
Wow.